Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast. This is our player ratings episode for Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. If you are new to our channel, subscribe, drop this video a like. Let's go big today. Let's go 1,000 likes on this episode and share your thoughts in the comment section down below. It'll be a player rating / match reaction. Wow. As footballing weeks go, I don't really think I've had many better. I don't think I've ever had any better, to be fair. I think that's the magnitude of what we've just done. And I think before the game, I went to the Aston social, and I've got to say, it was absolutely rocking in there. It was bouncing. There was Villa songs going, chants going, really got you into the mood of the game, and we were all buoyant anyway, and it was just an absolute fantastic atmosphere and sort of set the tone of the night, really. But you know, when we're talking about this week and we're reflecting on this week and we're thinking about what we've just done and the challenge what we've had to overcome and the pressure and the sort of the resilience that we've had to show at times, has been nothing short of remarkable. And for me, it probably is the best week that I've ever had as a Villa fan, coming off the back of the performance against Bournemouth, which in the grand scheme of things now doesn't look a bad point, because they are a very good side, Bournemouth, and they are doing fantastically well. But you know, we were set this challenge, weren't we? And we'd heard a lot of external noise. We'd heard noise from Villa fans saying, you know, this is our test now. I'll judge Villa on how good Villa are after these two games and stuff like that. And the City performance was the best I've ever seen Villa play, and I will stick by that. That is the best I've ever seen us play. Possession-wise, bossing a game, attacking-wise, defending, the nature of who we've done it against, how we were under so little pressure all game. We puffed our chest out and we said, this is what we are all about. And we did it on a big stage. We did it when everybody was watching, and we did it against the champions of Europe and the treble winners. And that was, for me, absolutely remarkable. The game against Arsenal was always going to be a difficult game. Can you get to those levels? I believe we can. And I believe we can again this season, and I believe we will continue to do so. But can you do it a couple of days later? That's the challenge. And for me personally, it never felt like we could ever get to that level a couple of days after. And we were always going to have to do something a little bit different. You know, and Arsenal were coming full of belief, full of confidence. They're a really, really good side, and they thought that they could do it. So with that being said, we probably had to adjust how we went about things slightly in this game, and to see two different levels of performances. You know, the absolute smashing of Man City, but then the defensive resilience of Arsenal. Two performances, two complete different performances, but we still won the game. And this shows the sign of a fantastic team. And we've heard this a lot about Arsenal and their resilience, and Liverpool's resilience to win when, you know, the other nights when they were playing poor and they won. Aston Villa did exactly the same thing. We just did enough to win. Liverpool this weekend against Crystal Palace, Liverpool were terrible, absolutely terrible, but they won, and they did enough to win. And it boils down to what I was saying about a year ago when I said that I'm fed up of walking out of Villa Park playing well and losing. And now we walk out and we've won. And however we get the results, we win. We've showed our fans what we can do. We've seen that against Man City. But there are so many different challenges in the Premier League. There's so many different permutations each week. Like when Chris Wilder comes to Villa Park, you know, what position are they going to be in? there's just so many different variables each week. There's teams that are sort of banging form. There's teams that are, might. And this is the other thing is like some people will say, yeah, but who have you beat at Villa Park? They'll look at the table and be like, oh, you beat Brighton, but they're 8th. You beat West Ham, but they're 9th. Yeah, but when we played them, they were like 4th and 5th. So many different variables each week that without true context, you never see that broader picture. So my point that I'm trying to make is 2 different performances, 2 wins against 2 very, very good teams. So I'm absolutely buzzing about it. It was just a great day. The energy in the stadium is just second to none now. It's fantastic. Like I say, the build up to the game was great. Team knew, stuck with the same team, didn't rotate, switched us round. So we attacking at the whole 10 first. And I was very surprised with the first 20 minutes because we were the better team again for the first 20 minutes. We were all over them. We swamped them again. Exactly like Man City, we swamped them for the first 20 minutes, suffocated them. How many times now are you now seeing good players come to Villa Park and have poor games? Saka, poor game. Odegaard, weren't that great, was he? How many of those players were just aimlessly kicking it out for a throw-in? It's pressure, it's intensity, and that's what the Villa Park crowd is creating in itself. Remember back in the day, Old Trafford, you were beat before you even got there. We get into that phase. To even get a point at Villa Park is a massive ask. So how are you going to get 3? And I thought for the first 20 minutes were absolutely fantastic. The build up to that goal, the little ball, I think it was a ball from similar to the goal against Man City, really. Leon Bailey does some great work on the halfway line. We drive him forward. Bailey goes into the box. Brilliant vision from Bailey. Brilliant cutback from Bailey. And then that finish from John McGinn. He spoke about it after the game that he'd had one in Europe and he sort of had to get it onto his one foot and then make sure he got it onto the next one and he buried it, really. So great goal. But after that, we sort of went into our shell a little bit. Arsenal just came out even more and was pressing us more and the intensity was there. And I said on the fan cam that I just didn't feel like we had control of that first half. And like I always say, ask yourself, do Villa have control? And if we don't have control, then that sort of already tells you a bit of a picture of how we're playing. But, first half, I think credit to Arsenal as well. I thought their press is fantastic. I think they're a real slick team. That they are a very, very good team. And we went in at half-time 1-0 up and, we needed that reaction, didn't we? And I felt like in the second half, we were a lot more competitive. We were a lot more, we were in the game a little bit more. We were creating more chances. And I felt like second half for me, it was a lot better from Villa. And I just think we showed enough to sort of get the win in the sense of the belief, the desire, the hunger, the passion. You can just see it in their eyes. But one thing that I will pick up on as well is that we very rarely get flustered. We don't get flustered. We're defending control. Whether it's cutbacks and there's a player there, we very rarely ever get flustered now. And I think that's just, the makeup of a very, very good team. And, 2 different performances. Was it as good as Man City? No. But I was listening to Talk Sport on the way to the game yesterday, and they were saying that, there was like talking about Liverpool, and they were like, come the end of the season, if Liverpool win the league, and they're talking about Crystal Palace away, where they had to scrape the win. No one cares. No one remembers. It's just you've won. So I think, we'll remember we beat Arsenal, but you just got to get the points. And to win a title, to be successful, you have to win in different ways. You can't just play swashbuckling football for 38. It doesn't happen. Teams don't do that. Liverpool aren't doing it. So you have to find a way when your back's against the wall to get a win. And that's what we did. And it was just Fantastic. Get in, Villa fans. Right, player ratings. Let's get into the player ratings. We've got the debrief that will be out tomorrow as well. So this player ratings, bit of match reaction from me. And then we've got a big debrief that will be out tomorrow. Fan cams. Make sure you're checking out all our TikToks. I had some fun on the TikToks. I had some fun on the fan cam. Just gotta do a little bit of bait every now and again, haven't you? A little bit of bait doesn't go amiss. We had that last season from that lot, so that was our time to get a little bit of revenge, right? So player ratings, get involved at home as well. So you want to go on to utvpodcast.co.uk. This is our wonderful website. You want to go on Social Hub, where you've got the predictor lineup, player ratings, and score predictions. So you go on player ratings. And then here you have your player ratings for Aston Villa v Arsenal. On the right-hand side, you've got the average from Villa fans. So it'll calculate your score and add it to the average. So let's start off then. Number 1, Emi Martinez. And it is a 10 out of 10 for me. He was absolutely world class. World class. That save from Odegaard when he sort of anticipated that side, I thought was just world class. So calm, so commanding, so dominant. I'm so happy for him. Just like Emery, so happy for him because he believes. He got asked at the after the game, are Aston Villa in a title race? And his words were, I believe, mate. So there we go. That player epitomises us in that dressing room. He is one of us. He loves the club. He's passionate. He's just world class, you know, and he's just absolutely amazing. And for me, probably the best. Well, he probably is the best goalkeeper I've ever seen at Villa Park. Just for everything that he brings, mentality monster, and 10 out of 10. He was absolutely remarkable. Diego Carlos, he's going to get a 10. He was absolutely fantastic. So dominant, strong. Oh, he's coming to his own the last couple of games. He's just been absolutely fantastic. He's just a leader, a unit. He's defensively strong. He's solid. His passing range is brilliant. He's, you know, he hasn't played for ages, and he's come in and he's set up that role, and he's just doing so well. And even when Konsa went off and it was just the two of him and Pau, he was fantastic, absolutely unreal, brilliant player. And I thought he had a great game. Konsa, again, I'm going to give him a 10. I thought he was fantastic in that right back role. He's made it his own now in the last 2 games. He was great. He was defending well against Martinelli. He's a great 1v1 defender, and he's brilliant in that right back role when he does have to defend in a 1v1. And yeah, what more can you say about Konsa? The recoveries are there. And we'll probably touch on this substitution in a second, but you know, what a brave decision to take Konsa off and think, do you know what? Konsa, you've got to come off. Like, no matter how big of a player you are for Villa, you need to come off for the minutes, managing the minutes, and class. It's a brilliant defender, an absolute brilliant defender. So next up, we've got Luca Dean, 10. Luca Dean, like, I can't tell you like about Luca Dean enough, because I don't want to bring up the old manager, but the level from that to what we've got now, like when that season that we got Gerrard, I picked Luca Dean as going to be our player of the season because I thought he was going to be that important. But Luca Dean, he's unbelievable. Defensively, awareness. He just looks tactically switched on. Like, I would say that Luca Dean is a tactically elite player because he knows his role, he knows what he's meant to do, and he can follow out the tactics. And when I was saying about us not getting flustered, he doesn't get flustered. He's so calm. That back line is so calming. It's unbelievable. they're just so good. And I thought Luca Dean was tremendous. And then we'll finish it off with the defense. Pau Torres. I'm telling you now, he's one of the best defenders in the Premier League. Ball carrying centre halves, possession based football centre half, progressive pass centre half. There ain't many better than him. There's not many better than Pau Torres. And what a bargain we've had him for as well. What an absolute bargain we've had Pau Torres for. Boubacar Kamara, I'm going to go a 9. I thought he was very, very good. I thought defensively he had to be switched on. I think his positioning was really good. And I think Kamara gets a solid 9 for me. Dougie Luiz, I'm going to give an 8. I thought he was just, again, Dougie Luiz. He gets a solid 8. Unfortunately, he has to miss the next game, but he's managed to get through these last 2 where we needed him. So Dougie Luiz gets an 8 for me. We're going to go John McGinn. He's going to get a 9. I don't think he was as good as Manchester City performance, but, you know, a solid 9. Got the goal. He was in a battle with Declan Rice all game. I loved watching that battle. And he's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Absolutely incredible. In his interview as well, he said that Unai, you know, he's really good. He does give them days off. So they've got 2 days off now. And McGinn, absolutely fantastic. Leon Bailey gets a 9 from me. He was absolutely magnificent again. Ball stuck to his foot. You know, the vision to make that goal for that first goal was class. And it's a shame he's gone off. Hopefully, it's just a little precaution. But Leon Bailey, you know, we were all in the social before the game waxing lyrical about Leon Bailey because he's turned into some player now. He's unplayable at times. Even on possession, when he's just got to like pass it back to Kamara or Luiz, it's just assured. It's brilliant. I'm going to go Tielemans 8. I felt like he had a difficult game, a bit dogged, and you know he had to get stuck in a bit, and he didn't really have too much time on the ball. But you know, the thing is when you're looking at Villa as well, is sometimes don't just look for players for stats, don't just look for assists, don't just look for goals. Look for what they are doing for the team. Like our team can't function fully if one player doesn't do some dirty work. And we are just a team that just functions and they all have to play their part. So he gets an 8 for me. Watkins, I'm going to give a 8 as well. Wasn't his best game. I felt like in the first half, we really needed him to hold the ball up a lot better. We were going long, and that's okay, just to bypass their midfield. But on the occasion, it was sort of coming back a little bit too much for me. But, you know, he was a threat, wasn't he? He was a threat all game, you know, especially in the first half. He only had to run by Saliba and he'd have a mare and he'd kick it out for a corner, or the same with Gabriel, really. So, you know, he really had them worried, and he did put in a real big performance. Diaby, I'm going to go a 7 as well. I think he was solid. I think he offered a threat. Again, he worked well for the team. I thought he had a solid game. Ramsey, again, I'll give a 7. I think he's just got to build up them minutes, hasn't he? He's got to build up them minutes. There was times where he's getting on the ball, he's dribbling, and I was like, God, Ramsey. But I think he'll need minutes in midweek. Hopefully, he'll get a full 90, same as Moreno getting a full 90 for the European game, and that should be good for them as well. And Den Donker, you know what he gets from me? He gets a 9 for a player. And what did I say? Right, Villa fans. What did I say a couple of games ago? There are going to be players in this team that we have to use and we have to rely on, and they will come in and they will have a 30-minute period in a game. What did I say? I said it. I called it. Den Donker came on for how many minutes there? So 66 he came on. So Den Donker came on the 66th minute, and he put in a fantastic performance. Them crunches in the middle of the park, I think there must have been 3 crunches that he put in. You know, the squad's going to be needed, and then Donker stepped up when needed, and fair play to him. He's had limited minutes, even in Europe, but I knew he was going to be used in December. I knew it, and the substitutions were class, man. Like, he came on, and he was everywhere, and he was just what we needed him to do, and love it, love it. Every player is on board and every player has a role. Well done, Dendonka. So we'll go Cash. I thought, oh my God, that one challenge on that Cash did. You know when we'll give Moreno an 8 as well. So both get an 8. You know when Cash sort of stepped in on Declan Rice for Declan Rice's yellow? I was like, yes, so good. But again, that substitution, it was needed. Legs, energy, fantastic. And then Moreno, great on that left-hand side as well. So those are my player ratings submitted. But yeah, it just shows that the squad's needed. The squad will be utilised. Step up, do your role, get the job done and go home. And yeah, buzzing. I mean, we are 3rd in the Premier League, which is just absolutely mental. Lost my voice again, and I'm in shock. I'm in awe. I'm in love with this team. It's just the best feeling in the world at the minute to be a Villa fan. It's just remarkable of how good we're doing. And yeah, you'll get people probably saying, or Arsenal fans saying, but we battered you and you weren't as good against City. We were never gonna be. It's a completely different game. Like, it's a completely different game. And in context, like, would I have preferred to play Arsenal sort of on a fresh week where we'd been able to sort of plan all week and everyone's fresh? And yeah, of course. But that wasn't what we got on offer. We'd got to really put in a battle, and you know, they were coming off the back of playing Luton and limping over the line, and we were coming off the back of smashing Man City. So yeah, it's just amazing, and I'm so proud of the players, proud of the team, proud of the manager, so happy for the manager. You know, when I was on BBC the other day, and they were making it of the battle of Emery and the battle of Arsenal and all that business, and you know, for him to sort of get one over on them was just absolutely great, and I love it. And it's just a fantastic time to be a Villa fan. I think we're all so happy and loving the performances, loving the atmosphere, and just got to keep going now. We've really got to just keep going and see where we are and see what we can do. But we've got a big game in midweek. We've got to get something from that game, and then we turn our attention to Brentford away. So that'll be a difficult game as well. Difficult game in itself, like they always are. So just massive to beat those two teams. The two teams that are sort of gunning for the title, and we've beat them, and just can't be more proud of the team, can you? You can't be more proud of the players and what they've done, because the game yesterday wouldn't have been easy. You know, they'd have been tired, they'd have been leggy, they'd have been thinking, "Oh God, that again!" Like, and they managed to get the win and get in there. Love it. Right, so we'll have a tactical debrief out Monday. I think we've got a full lineup as well, so we're all on it. So yeah, that'll be there for you all to enjoy as well. So thanks everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you everybody who's been watching us. Can I just say, TikToks are going off at the minute, so everyone's loving our TikToks. So if you can follow us on TikTok, yeah, we're doing quite well on TikTok, to be fair. So my Haaland in Concer's back pocket did well. That got like so many thousands of views. But yeah, so cheers everyone for all of the support. You know, get on the journey with us. We've had so many people this week say, I don't normally comment on your videos, but I've commented today. Just comment all the time. Just get involved. Like, we've created this community, and you all interact with each other, and this is what this channel was based upon. And the fact that when I started the channel, it was in COVID and we were not doing very well, and now look how well we're doing. Like, we've got to enjoy it. We've got to enjoy being a Villa fan. The good times, they're hard to come by. So when you do get them, you've got to enjoy them. We don't need to be putting a downer on and say, one game at a time, like, don't get saying that, don't get saying this. But, just enjoy it. We have to enjoy it. We are the fans. And like I keep saying, it's down for Emery and the players to be grounded. Emery will do all of that. Emery will keep them grounded. Emery will keep them thinking one game at a time. But for Villa fans, it's time to enjoy it, embrace it. Yeah, embrace where we are, embrace where we're going, embrace where we are in the table. Just enjoy it. There's so much crap in life. This is where we can enjoy it and where we can just enjoy it with each other, because it's amazing. So, let's go. Manchester City, tick. Arsenal, tick. Third in the league. Let's go, Villa fans. Up the Villa.